The head coach of the Crimson Tide, Nate Oats, starts the show with us. Welcome in, Coach. Dunaway out sick today. He's not going to be at practice, so we apologize.
Yeah, what? It's an ugly sweater day, and Dunaway sent his sweater in instead of his person there, or what?
Dunaway said, just have my sweater on set, just in case. Yes.
Do you ever get, so you've got such a built-in excuse, like these holiday parties, you're obviously working. You're working your ass off, so you can't go to tacky sweater party. You can't go to Christmas parties. But have you ever put one of these sweaters on?
No, I don't even own one, nor will I ever buy one. So if you got to wear a tacky sweater to go to the party, yeah, I got too much video to watch. So I got to go to a high school game or something.
Your voice is you're in March voice
that's right
now.
Mid-season form for the boys.
Yeah, we've had some big games and some practices have been needed to get us to rebound a little better. So sometimes you got to put a little emphasis on what you're saying.
Well,
sometimes do it too many times and your voice doesn't recover well enough.
We were joking about one of your post games. If I had $1 for every time you complained about rebounding after a loss, we wouldn't be doing this show right now. But I mean, tell me something positive that you have learned about this team. It's been a challenging schedule. We'll talk to you about that. But as you look at this team, what has maybe surprised you in a positive nature for this team?
I mean, we take care of the ball. We haven't had many turnover issues. We've had multiple games where we've had single-digit turnovers. So, we talk about, we've done it, and you guys are pretty well versed in analytics and know it well enough to conversate about it. But we've kind of gone all in on the shot geography, taking the proper shots, the shots that yield the highest efficiency, but the kind of the next step that everybody in the NBA has gone to is the possession game on. So, nobody in the NBA is taking a bunch of terrible shots really anymore. There's still plenty of college teams that do, but kind of the next iteration is trying to win the possession game with, fewer turnovers and more offensive rebounds than your opponent. So the turnover deal, we've on the offensive side, we've been good. We got to force more turnovers on the defensive side. And we've shown we're capable of being a pretty good offensive rebounding team. We just haven't done a very good job keeping the other team off the offensive boards on our defensive end. So I think we've got the capability, even though maybe we're not super physical, maybe at the 4 spot all the time. But, Taylor in that St. John's game showed he's capable of it. Our guards can go get rebounds. Amari's been a really good rebounder. So we're just going to have to kind of do the rebounding by committee and shoot. We're going to get pushed on it Saturday against Arizona. They're number 1 team in the country, and they do it kind of with, I don't want to call it football, but it's definitely smash mouth. I mean, they're pounding it inside pretty much they're like, I didn't look this morning. Yesterday, they were 363rd out of 365 Division I teams on three-point rate, meaning there's only 2 teams that shoot fewer threes per field goals than they do. So they're not trying to kill you on the perimeter. They're trying to smash it right into the lane and beat you in the paint.
Just because you are so emphatic when it comes to rebounding, one more rebounding question. I mean, when you go back last year, you guys were second nationally, only behind Illinois. And I think right now you're 17th nationally. But I think your numbers are actually up, are they not?
You're talking about rebounds per game?
Per game, yeah.
Yeah, so, and typically I let the stats go when they go in our favor, and all the talking heads talk about raw numbers, like our points per game are this or that. Everything's got to be spoken with the understanding that we play the fastest tempo in the country pretty much every year. So there's going to be more rebounds to be had. There's going to be more shots to be had, more points to be scored, all that. So it goes 2 ways. When people talk about us leading the country in scoring, well, we give ourselves a good chance to lead the country in scoring every year because we have more possessions than everybody every year. We also, on the defensive end, it's not good to talk about, they're terrible because they give up so many points per game. No, that's not how you look at it. You look at it, what's the defensive efficiency? How many points per possessions do we give up? So on the rebounding side, you got to look at rebounding rates. And my guess is we're not top 20 in rebounding rate. We may be top 20 in rebounds per game because there's a lot more rebounds to be had than a lot of the other teams. So I'm looking at rebounding rate, and I don't like what our rebounding rate is right now. So, for our fans that want to talk positively about it and talk a bunch of trash to the other people's fans out in the country, they can use rebounds per game if they like, and we look a lot better than what we probably are. When you actually look at rebounding rate, I don't like where we're at. So, yeah, you guys can go ahead and keep talking about the rebounds per game, though. It makes us look a lot better.
We'll do that. That's our analytics. Nate Oats is with us, the Alabama basketball coach on the Alexander Shenard Trial Attorneys Hotline. CMNewtonClassic.com for all the info on the game Saturday night down at Legacy Arena. Ticketmaster has the tickets for you. Some still available in the upper levels there, and you can go watch the number 1 team in the nation, Arizona, the number 12 team in the nation currently, Alabama, play at Legacy Arena. Should be a fun game. Our Bill was talking about it last night during UConn, Florida, how entertaining he thinks this game will be Saturday night. You could see it for yourself. Get tickets at Ticketmaster. So that brings up the scheduling question. Ken Palm says you have the second most difficult schedule in America right now, and you haven't even played Arizona yet.
Who's number one?
Right.
Some team that got bought by every team they play, I'm guessing. Maybe?
It's A&M Corpus Christi, who must have played the Thunder and the Knicks because they're number one.
Oh, they get bought. They probably haven't had a home game yet. They've gone and had to get bought. Like I was at a mid-major. I know. I mean, that's exactly what it is. So no, we play a tough schedule, but the best team we may play is right there in Birmingham. I mean, Arizona's number 1 in the country right now, and for all the fans, when we first got here, the group that helps us put this game on, Night Edie up there in Birmingham, talked to us about trying to get quality opponents for the game. We've done our job on our end of getting quality opponents for this game. It's not, nothing against Liberty or Davidson, who've been some of the teams we've had to play up there for this game in Birmingham. We've now brought in Illinois and Arizona. I would hope that the basketball fans, Alabama fans in particular, but basketball fans in general in Alabama, appreciate the fact we're bringing them in, and we got to sell out on Saturday because we've done our job in bringing in the best teams in the country to play this game in Birmingham. So I don't know quite what your question was, but I don't know if that was the answer to it. But
yeah, I mean, I would. Has it been what you wanted? Has it done what you've wanted it to do for this team as you look back on it? Because some could argue, it's too difficult. But I mean, has it accomplished what you wanted it to accomplish? Because this is your scheduling philosophy, obviously.
Yeah, I think so, because we've gotten some quality wins. I mean, that St. John's on the road, Illinois on the road. They're semi-road. But to me, I don't know how you count the St. John's being a semi away. No, like they play half their games in Madison Square Garden. Just because they play a few games on campus, they play all their big games in the Garden. So that's a road win. The Illinois one in Chicago, there was a couple Alabama fans there. That's a road win. So we've got some quality road wins. We've got some quality home wins. Clemson's a nice one. We've been exposed as to what we need to work on and given a chance to work on it. And we'll be much better off for it come SEC play. I think, there's some teams in the SEC that don't play good schedules that all of a sudden they get to SEC play and they don't know what they're bad at. And all of a sudden they start getting exposed during conference play. We know what we got to work on. We've got time to work on it. We've been on our guys about it. And I don't think you have to go undefeated. I mean, shoot, the year we were the number 1 overall seed, we weren't undefeated in non-conference play. So you got to take some losses and get better. We've taken some losses. We've gotten better from it. We've got some quality wins, and we got one more, like, for sure guaranteed quad 1 game with Arizona coming in here with a chance to get a win against, and we've gotten wins against number 1 teams in the country before. It's going to take a great effort to get this one, but it's sitting there in front of us with a chance to, and whether we win or lose, we're going to learn a lot about ourselves and be able to get better before we hit SEC play in January.
And they've got some great wins as well, sitting at 8-0 for their wins, top 20 wins, coming off a 29-point win against the Auburn Tigers right there in conference. You brought this up about Tommy Lloyd, and I don't know how well you know Tommy Lloyd, but the philosophy that he carries on, at least with this roster, I mean, you guys have already attempted 325 threes. They've only attempted 128, virtually the same games. 8 games for them, 9 games for you guys. You've almost shot 3 times as many threes. Is it an interesting philosophy? Obviously, it's working for the number 1 team in college basketball.
I mean, it's tough. Yeah, and I do know Tommy pretty well. He's a great guy. I like, if you had him on the show, you guys would love him. He's really good. Sometimes you compete against some of these guys and they're real kind of arrogant pricks and you really want to drill him. But he's not. He's like the opposite. He's like great dude. I worked with him for 3 days out in USA Basketball. He was the head coach. He did a great job. They won a gold medal. And, I got to know him a lot better, went out to some dinners and stuff this past summer. But it's one of those deals where you can have totally different philosophies and still win. He gets his guys to play hard. They're tough. They're physical. But, yeah, very distinctly different philosophies. Shoot, we just took 57 threes our last game. You double that, and that's what they got in 8 games pretty much. So they're taking 16 a game. We took 16 before the second media timeout last game, I think. So we're going to need to hit a few. We're more than capable of hitting a lot. I mean, everybody's going to try to take us off the 3-point line. I'm sure they'll try to do the same thing. They do a pretty good job defensively, and they're super physical, and they try to take you out of what you do. And we spread the floor out a lot more than them. They try to pound it inside, but they do a good job. I mean, they've got, he's been able to recruit some of the better bigs in the country, some of the more physical. Like Cole Pete at the 4 is a real matchup problem. They're 5-man 7-2, and he's skilled. So, they've got problems. They're going to score some 2s. We understand it. We're going to have to score some 3s and some 2s both. And, the interesting thing with them is a lot of the post-up teams like them will play very slow and make sure they methodically they actually play pretty fast. They try to run it up your throat. Jaden Bradley, who was great for us, we're the number 1 overall seed, and he started the majority of the games that year, and he understands how to play fast. He'll push the ball. I mean, he'll get in the paint before the bigs get down there if you don't get back, get your defense set. So they do a really good job of playing fast and playing inside, once they get in the half court. So we got to do a great job in transition. We got to do a great job our post D. We got to do a great job keeping the ball out on drives, and we got to rebound it. The defensive rebounding on our end is going to be a big deal.
All right, I know you got to get to practice. I learned from you last year in an interview that parallel lines can intersect in Euclidean geometry. I spent 6 years at Jacksonville State, never once heard that. I learned it from you. Can you leave us with another math fact of the day? Can you give us a math fact?
Math fact of the day, man. You get into some deep ones. Well, my 8th grade daughter informed me. She's talking to me about how hard her math class is and the pre-algebra, and they're covering stuff that's more difficult than pre-algebra. I said, well, Bree, like you got a math tutor in the house, right? Like they do new math stuff now. I'm like, Bree, come on. It's pre-algebra. So maybe I should ask Bree what
yeah.
Maybe there's some new math out there I don't know in the pre-algebra.
Yeah. I learned some of the new math. I didn't know the old math. That was my problem. I didn't know the old math well enough to learn the new math.
Yeah, I just don't get you. And I was doing this with my kids. I'm like, I've got the answer. Well, you've got to show your answer now.
No, I don't.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I've got the answer.
Yeah, it was teachers like Coach Oats that made you show your work. You had to show your work.
I thought back when they can get the answer now. They just got to go to AI. It'll give them the answer.
That's true.
So I'm all for showing the work because they got to actually know how to do a little bit of math. I mean, I don't know if I've got any. I got to get sharpened up on some tricky math stuff when I get on with you guys. I don't know how we got on the non-Euclidean parallel lines intersecting last time, but that's a good one.
Yep.
I got a question for you. Who decorates who does the holiday decoration? I might need you guys to come in before the program got the nice trees there. I mean,
That was the Brown family came up here on Black Friday, right?
Yeah, so we were in Auburn before the Iron Bowl doing our show. My wife and 2 daughters came up and decorated the studio.
Yeah, send them out to my place. We got a staff Christmas party. We need some decorations like that. We'll put them to work out here.
I'll get with
Send me the Amazon list. I'll just order it and put it up.
I'll get with Greg Byrne on the price on this, and we'll get that set up.
There you go.
All right, thank you, Coach. Always good to see you.
All right, fellas, roll tide.